Okay, welcome to our weekly learning of Tanya. We are in London currently, so we cannot be too loud as we are in a base Knesset, base Midrash in London. I wanted to learn here because once I get back to my family's home, I end up getting very busy with work and the family. So we're going to just chop around a short shtickle of Tanya to keep up our weekly learning and be Makadish a little bit London. Next week will probably be Monday or Tuesday because I'll be flying on the Sunday, and I didn't bring any extra Tanya learning, even though I could probably do some chitas, because right now a very important point when you don't come to Beis Knesset. So I'm going to have to be davening in the airport that day. I have a flight, but until then I've got a lot to do, a lot of neshamas, and it's been a gewaldige trip so far, amazing trip. Discussed to speak at HUK, to speak at Nishmas YISRAEL, and tonight or tomorrow night actually we're speaking at the they don't want to be named, but a special teenager at risk program that I've been involved with for many years, and they're just trying to keep private right now with in terms of, I will post the class but I just can't mention the name of the institution for some reason. And then at the end of the trip I'll be speaking at the local shul here, Rav Stepsky's shul in Edgware. So it's been from Hendon to Edgware and back to Hendon and back to Edgware, so back and forth. And for simchas, had bar mitzvahs, Eliyahu Hakohen, and Baruch Hashem, a lot of simchas and nachas, a glida for my son, and the opportunities for Chazik Am Yisrael in Edgware in London. I still have maybe one or two moments ready, but I just have a lot of arrangements now this week. So if anyone wants a last minute meet up, it could be I'll be doing an oneg Shabbos night in Edgware, and will be by a friend's house at Gold. I need to just confirm. Anyway, till then, let's learn some Tanya. So there's a lot to discuss. We had a very mechazik section, which everybody nowadays needs chizuk in. Rak chazak yamatz. The idea of being misgabe a little bit on the Yitzchak, especially in the Inyan of Taivas, we've been learning in the Kutim Haran, very much this Inyan, a little bit that brings down the Sitra Achra, the other side, from above. Therefore, one should not feel depressed or very troubled at heart. He ought to somewhat be troubled by the currents of these thoughts, otherwise he may be indifferent to them and will cease to wage wars on them, but he ought not to be sorely troubled by them. So obviously there's a disclaimer, so we shouldn't be troubled by them, but with a disclaimer that this is something we don't want to become regil with. We don't want to be constantly busy with these thoughts. I mean, the truth is in our door, it probably is in Brera. So we just have to be mechazik. Whatever little bit we can misgabe, control ourselves. Self-control is a big key to simchas chaim, to happiness. As Stephen Covey says, you want to have simcha, you want to have joy. He doesn't say simcha. You want to have happiness, you have to have self-control. And that's something which the Torah very much, for sure, 100% agrees with. And we see from the Tzaddikim, and this is the Tanya saying, even if he's engaged all his days in a conflict with the thoughts which will always enter his mind, as we're saying, like our generation, 2025 coming up, 575, perhaps this is what the reason the reason you were created for is just to fight the Yitzhak, to subdue it constantly. Eov said, Job, you have created wicked men, as it was proclaimed that one must be wicked and another man is righteous. The Alter Rebbe points out that this is contradicted by the statement of the Gemara that before a child is born, Hashem decrees whether he should be wise or foolish, strong or weak, and so on, but does not tell whether to be righteous or wicked. This is left to one's own choice. It's interesting because we learned at MASHA that really, turn this all on its head from Rav Shlomo, the idea that Yirah Shamayim is law b'dei Shamayim, as the Gemara says. So having fear of God, having a relationship with God, is not in the hands of heaven. It's each person has bechira, but the Madrega of the MASHA, he turns it around and says that it's also b'dei Shamayim, that Hashem allows us to have Yirah Shamayim and a relationship with Him. So that's the true understanding. Ultimately, everything's from Hashem Echad. It's a very deep concept we'll have to discuss at some point from MASHA. But over here, there's an aspect of choice in the Tanya. The meanings, and by the way, this is all in essence in Tanya, page 357, 358. And let's go. The meaning of Eob's statement becomes clear in the light of the above discussed. True, God does not obtain whether man will act wickedly, but He does create wicked men. In the sense their minds work like the minds of Russia, with evil thoughts constantly occurring to them. God created them in this way so they engage in battle with these thoughts and thereby subjugate the other side. And now the Alter Rebbe goes to say, so by Eob's statement we know that they're not really created evil in thought, speech and action. God forbid. Ella shigir aleim kamaysa b'shayim machshavosaychem mashavosam v'hiurim bilvad, but that they should occur to them in their thoughts and their musings alone, that which occurs to do wicked things. It's going to keep coming up by them. So maybe we have two things here. We have this kafia and this hafcha. We haven't got to this hafcha of turning, of transforming. Here the avoda is kafia, to subdue these bad thoughts, and this is an internally waged war. So the point is, struggle is a lifetime experience. Subjugate the other side. That's his kafia. Yeah, they will never be able to annihilate this attribute. For this is accomplished by the tzaddikim. We'll be learning this, and this is based on a deep concept in the Tanya that we've been going back and forth in, the idea of this, the Rishoyim Beinanim Tzaddikim. And this is what the nafkamim of the tzaddikim is, that they destroy the Yitzhak within. They get rid of the Beinanim, never listen to it, and the Rishoyim, they, according to this explanation, they have a strong Yitzhak, and if there's Zocha, they fight it their whole life. And so that probably puts us more on the Rishoyim level. But the point is that with Beinanim, what we aspire for, the Sefer Beinanim, is the idea, the in-betweeners, is that we're aspiring to never listen to those voices that keep attacking us all day. And so slowly we become someone who's more shaykh to Beinanim, someone who's never listening to the other side. I mean, it's all out there. It's in front of us. And we have to be very strong. And Hashem should help purify our hearts. As much as I love Am Yisrael and I enjoy being here, and I'm thinking of my son Baruch ben MASHA, who's in Lebanon, and in real ways is fighting the other side in the most intense way, and we have in mind him and all the soldiers, that they should have nitzachon, should have victory. But the most important part is the inner reality of Am Yisrael. It should be healthy and pure and true. And should be Zochim Hashem to a beautiful week. Anyone wants to reach out, I'm in London, please do. And thank you for listening to our weekly learning of Tanya. We'll go weiter in the new week in the Holy Land, please God, and hopefully Mashiach Sekenu and everyone good. All the blessings. And Chazak V'Amatz. Have a good parshat Toldot. Yaakov versus Esav.